What a weekend of college football it was as we saw the Indiana Hoosiers defending the home turf, crushing Illinois 63-10. Dabo Swinney and the Clemson Tigers falling to 1-3 on the season, and Michigan picking up a nice win out in Lincoln, Nebraska. First, I got to start off with Dabo, man. This program has fallen. Congrats on winning the ACC last year. Congrats on making the playoffs. And congrats on smack talking your own fan base. You know it's bad and things are getting worse when your head coach has to speak out and reprimand his own fan base for the smack talk he's receiving and criticism he's getting, rightfully so, from the Clemson Tiger faithful. Now, this Tiger program has reached new heights under Dabo Swinney, so all respect for him being the architect of taking a good program to an elite program, but an underachieving one before he got here. And now they've fallen back down into those ranks of underachieving. And 1-3, if we're just being completely honest, is completely unacceptable with the standards that Dabo has built up down in Clemson, South Carolina. He went on earlier this week in his press conference just chastising his fan base, just naming off his rights and his records and things that he's done at Clemson. 8 of the 10 last playoffs, 7 of the last 10 ACC championships, and those are great things. But you have to understand, fan bases want results now. Not yesterday, now. And right now, Dabo's not delivering. He's just straight up not delivering. The fan base is frustrated with him, and it's hilarious from an Ohio State perspective. We love to see it. They caused us some painful losses in the height of the Dabo Swinney era, but they're way well past that now. And with 1-3 on the record books, he's in my opinion, he's built up enough grace to make it through the season. But next season, he's squarely on the hot seat. He's got to get together. He's got to swallow his pride and accept that college football has changed. I appreciate the principle of not building 5, 6, 7, 8 starters from the transfer portal, but he's added one player in the 5 years since the portal has been open. College football is different. You have to adapt or you will die in the college football world. It's just how things are playing out, and he's reaping what he's sowing in that regard. Moving on to Indiana's blowout win versus Illinois, and then I'll follow up with Michigan and Nebraska. But how about the Hoosiers offense, man? They had a three-headed monster with the running backs, with Martin, Black, and Hembo combining for 312 yards total rushing on the ground. Mendoza was nearly perfect. I don't know what his QBR was, but he was 21-23, 267, 5 touchdowns, didn't turn the ball over. They were humming. Illinois had no answers for this Hoosier offense. They look even more explosive than they did last season. It's really remarkable to see because they were explosive last year. Curt Cignetti picking up his first signature win. It's really impressive. I mean, a lot of people were riding Illinois and Brett Bielema in this contest as well as for this season. And entering the contest, I picked the Hoosiers to defend the home turf, went against the grain. I knew Bloomington would be rocking for another top 20 matchup, just kind of like they were last year for the Michigan game. And I'm a believer in what Cignetti's building, man. I don't know how sustainable it is long term, but I was bought in last year. They played Ohio State tough in the first half. They obviously got worked in the second half. Got thrashed by Notre Dame in the playoffs, of course, in South Bend. But I've never seen Indiana look like that, and it's awesome to see, man. The Memorial Stadium was rocking again, making it a home fortress for the Hoosiers, a tough out and a tough place to play, setting up an amazing contest with the Oregon Ducks here on October 11th in a couple weekends out in Eugene. Going to be a fierce one, I think. Well, we'll preview that one later. But getting back to this specific game, the Hoosiers defense continually got home. I think they had 8 sacks against the Illini yesterday. And Luke Altmaier, man, he had nowhere to go with the football. Just 146 yards passing. Couldn't get in a rhythm. Had no ground support. I think 40-something yards rushing for the contest. And no, even less than that. And when you when you have so many weapons leave the program, like the running back went to Georgia and their top receiver went to the pros, I question their ability to be explosive. They did have the one big play, of course, over the top to get the solo touchdown for the Illini on the evening. But beyond that, they showed no explosiveness, and that's kind of what I expected heading into this contest and how I previewed this game. Impressive win for the Hoosiers. Another signature win for Curt Cignetti. I know a lot of people, he's very polarizing. He is. He has a big mouth. He talks a big game. Me personally, I kind of love it just because of the fact that I never in my life dreamt that Indiana would have a head coach that would talk smack and could credibly talk smack about other Big Ten programs. I'm here for it. Curt Cignetti, I understand why you rub people the wrong way, and certain things you do say I think you're a little wrong for, but I respect your game. And keep building the Hoosiers up. Bright things ahead down in Bloomington. Then finally, the Nebraska Cornhuskers fall at home once again to the Michigan Wolverines, losing 30-27, their 28th straight defeat to a ranked foe. When will that ever change? When will that streak be stopped? Matt Rhule was supposed to be the one to take the program forward in year 3. And from what I saw versus Cincinnati, I absolutely picked Michigan to win this contest. I predicted it to be about 24-16. That was my score prediction heading in because I knew Nebraska didn't have as good a defense as Oklahoma. A good one, but not as good as Oklahoma. I hadn't seen Raiola play well. Now, to his credit, he played probably the best game I've ever seen him play in the Nebraska uniform. Raiola specifically was 30 of 41 for 308, 3 touchdowns and a pick. But the fact is, he had no ground support. The Huskers had 43 yards rushing. Michigan absolutely took away the ground game. It made Nebraska one-dimensional. It was kind of remarkable that they were still in this contest when you consider they only had 43 yards rushing compared to the Wolverines at 290 yards rushing for the contest. Had their way on the ground, both with Marshall and with Justice Haynes, breaking another 50-plus yard run to the end zone off. He's done it in every contest he's put a Michigan Wolverine uniform on. Just stepping up big time for the Maize and Blue. Bryce Underwood looked well. He, wasn't have to do a whole lot. 12 of 22, 105 yards. Pretty Michigan quarterback stat line. But he did have that bust off run, just wide open to the end zone up the middle. He had 61 yards rushing on the day, and that was his sole touchdown. It really does look a lot like the Harbaugh offense still, in my opinion. It looks a lot like, kind of limiting mistakes. And Underwood, to his credit, he didn't turn the ball over except for that fumble. That was his lone turnover yesterday. And so when you can protect your quarterback and you can run the ball that effectively and play good defense like the Wolverines did, you're going to win a lot of football games. It's not fun to see. This looked a lot more like a Harbaugh win for sure. They just took care of the football, man. And Underwood's spin and spiral and accuracy and velocity on his throws, it really is something to behold, and it's a lot of fun to watch. I don't like saying that about a Michigan quarterback, but he is quite talented, and he's going to be a superstar for them in the future. Quite the challenge for the Buckeyes at the end of the season, as well as the next 2 seasons that we got to face them. But yeah, good win for Michigan on the road. They bounced back, get the first road win of the season, advanced to 3-1. Cornhuskers had a chance to remain undefeated, couldn't capitalize at home in the friendly confines of Memorial Stadium. And the fans, unfortunately, Cornhusker Nation has to go home defeated again and with their tails between their legs. I don't know if they're going to get over the hump with Rhule this season. I really don't see it. I mean, I was not impressed, like I said, with Cincinnati in their first contest. They played a lot better yesterday, but they have to be two-dimensional. They have to be able to run the football and give Raiola some balance if they're going to win more contests than they did last year. But anyway, A fun weekend in college football. One last note: Michigan State traveled to USC in a super late game. I don't know who in the right mind stayed up to watch that. If you're living on the East Coast like I am, and Spartans take their first loss of the season to the Trojans. I'm still not a believer in the USC defense. I caught the highlights. Obviously, I didn't get the full contrast of the game, but a scary moment in that contest when one of the Spartans collapsed and was carted off and then taken into an ambulance in a hospital to a hospital. Scary moment for the Spartan Nation there. It was right before the second half, and it really, it paused the game for a while, and it was quite the sight to behold. Unfortunately, it was scary, but thankfully, I think he is okay, and Spartans hopefully can recover from that. It's a traumatizing event as a teammate to see one of your brothers fall like that and collapse. But anyway, USC, obviously less important, gets the win. That player's safe and okay and healthy, so that's the main thing. But anyway, that'll do for this one. Go Bucks and God bless. We'll see you on the next one.